Shalom Israel. First of all, we give all praises, all honor, all glory to Yahweh B'Shem Shai B'Hashem Rakah Kadash. That was the apostles and elders of great millstone teach us his truth. Peace and blessings to whole flock to Israel. And Shalom, Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father in Hebrew. B'Hashem means the name, and Yahweh Shai is the name of the God's Son. Back in the lesson, and today we a quick breakdown going to how the so-called white men today is the biblical Edomites. And as you see, when you go into the scripture in the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and 39th verse, and through the 40th verse, going to his blessing that he received, which was the fatness of the earth, and the sword which you see him living by, which also Job number 24, the world is going to hand the wicked, which I'm going to get most of these scriptures throughout this lesson. But ultimately, I'm just going to prove how so-called midday is Esau Edom. You know, it's like this is also how you correlate and connect, you know, who's who. You know, certain traits that the Edomites have back then, you know, certain architecture that they had, and the way they built things and the way they ate things is still carrying on to this so-called white man, which is the Edomites. You know, you have a lot of people that like to, you know, say the Edomites are not around today. You know, even the Israelites. These people are too, and they're bugged out. But I'm going to play this quick video. You know, and as you see right here, you know, this dude red. And, you know, here is a garment, as the scriptures go into, which plays real quick, and then get to scriptures.
Quite dinner time, but it is snack time.
And also, as you know, Esau loves his raw meat.
While this isn't the most delicious snack, it is a sure as hell nutritious snack. I'm gonna take a huge bite out of these testicles. All I did was remove the membrane here. You can see the other membrane's fully intact. Here we go.
Nasty ass Edomites, man. And if you go to this guy's page, he has tons of, you know, videos of him eating raw meat and other things.
Liver King here. We just butchered this beautiful cow. We got a fresh femur bone full of pristine bone marrow. We have a liver here that was filtering blood just 15 to 30 minutes ago. We have a heart. We have a kidney with perinephric fat, and we have a fresh lung here.
Esau, they love their raw meat, as the scriptures go into in Genesis, the 25th chapter, man, when he ate that stew raw. You know, what was given to him unto, you know, by the way of Jacob. When, you know, he was cooking, you know, and Esau, you know, was hungry, was starving, you know, and just, you know, wanted to, you know, get that food as fast as he could. But, you know, I found this funny also, you know, just, you know, searching up, you know, other brothers' lessons, but it says, you know, I typed in Esau eating raw meat, and I put GMS, and you see, you know, so-called white people popping up, man. And it also proves who the Edomites are also. Because who else do you see also just, you know, eating raw meat like, you know, it's nothing, like it's their favorite meal. You know, there's one video, which, you know, the Spirit jumped on me to create this lesson, is one Shedomite was giving her child, you know, a raw steak, man. You know, it was barely even cooked. She might as well just gave the kid raw, man. And just look at this. He's eating this video right here. Esau Edom, man. And these are the traits, you know, of the Edomites, man. The things that they do. Certain architecture also, which we'll get into. You know. But when you search up Esau, you know, and put, you know, putting raw meat, it shows white people, man. Which are the Edomites, which are not really white, you're red. As you see in this video also, this dude's red.
When I wake up in the morning and I don't know why.
But you have these doubles trying to, you know, escape their identity and who they really are, calling themselves Caucasian, calling themselves white, trying to hide their true identity. You know, but in reality, they're red. They're Edomites, man, which the name Edom goes into red. But I don't want to stall this lesson too long. Let's get on with the lessons. So Genesis chapter 25, verse 29 through 34. Then Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, Feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And let's get his, you know, his the etymology of his name, which Strong's G.
Strong's H123. Edom.
And when you go down to the definitions, it says Edom, the elder twin brother of Jacob, hence the region of Idumea, occupied by him, Edom, Edomites, Idumea. Let's go on down. It says, hide outline of biblical usage. It says Edom equals red. And who do you see that is red today? Esau, man. But you have these doubles trying to flip the script and, saying that, Gad, which is so-called Native Americans today, are the red people, You see Esau just trying to sweep these things under the rug and trying to be the victim. Like he didn't do anything and, point the finger at other people. But it says Edom equals red. It's the Edomite, Idumean, the descendants of Esau. There you go. When you go to Esau also, the definition of Esau.
Strong's H 6215. Esav.
But it
Esav.
says hide outline of biblical usage. So Esau equals hairy. When you go into the scriptures, he came out, red, and hairy is a garment all over, rough paraphrasing. But let's finish this up. And we, finish off with what I was talking about. So then Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, and Esau said, behold, I am to the point to die. What profit shall his birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So he sold his birthright and ate what he was given raw. And he carried that trade over. You're seeing so white people just eating raw meat, eating raw bacon, all this different things just raw, man. So lest there be, there's Hebrews 12 verse 16, says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. This devil, this heathen, Esau Edom, loves his raw meat. But you see, this devil is wicked, man. He's the real cave beast, man. He used to live, in the mountains, the Caucasus Mountains, where you get Caucasian from. He used to have caves that he dwell in, which, go into Petra, which is down here, which I'll get in a minute, which is one of the main places that Esau lived. But let's get Genesis chapter 25, verse 25. And it says, and the first came out red all over, and the first came out red. Let's get this real quick.
We got a protein shake. We have
Liver King here. I've been getting a ton of questions.
Red. Esau Edom. I mean, just look at this. Continue on. So the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Which when we go to Esau's name once again, as I just got earlier, goes into hairy. Which I believe there's a video that I tried to get. Let's see.
I'm gonna try this shit. Try this fucking raw meat right here.
This is lamb.
This is lamb. Okay. So where do I buy?
I mean, just look at the Edomites, man. Red and hairy as a garment, man. Look at that.
I like whatever the fuck you want, bro. Just grab a bite out of it. You want salt? I came in yesterday. I was eating and I noticed you guys don't have salt, so I brought in my own salt.
All right.
I mean, just it was like you're eating sushi.
It's amazing. Yeah.
What?
It's like you're eating sushi.
What?
Everybody makes a big deal out of it, but it's
It
literally.
tastes like sushi, but like it's steak. I feel like I'm eating poke. It's fun. It's actually good.
Go for it.
Like it's not bad.
Hey, give me one fucking meal. You can eat almost 1,200 calories and go 5 minutes later work out without burping and feeling like you can't move.
I mean,
Raw meat, you can do that every fucking time. I'll give you any part of steak. You can eat it 5 minutes later. You're working out like a fucking animal. No problem. Zero problem.
I said animal, and these devils are cave beasts, man. Literal, the literal cavemen. You're walking on all fours, living in the mountains, in caves, which also goes into the architecture that they had back then. But before we get to that, it's, continue with the scripture. But Book of Genesis, chapter 27, verse 29 through 40, said, Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and dew of heaven from above. To also go more into how to prove the so-called white man today is Esau Edom. Because you see with the most powerful rulership, the most powerful kingdom, the so-called white man. in control of pretty much everything, around the world. No one has really taken him out or even touched him. That's why you go into the scriptures in the book of Isaiah chapter 47, going to, come sit in the dust, O daughter of Babylon. Come down from that throne, if you're paraphrasing. So being taken out. So thou shalt be no more tender nor delicate. Okay, no one has really touched America, man. But verse 40 it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live. And he's been living by that sword, man. As you see with all his technology, these weapons that he has, his laser weapons, and all these different things, his mighty military. And shalt serve thy brother shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Continue on. Add more onto that. Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who do you see ruling today, man? It's clear as day, who has the most, powerful nation, kingdom. And you see, Esau hasn't really been touched, man. Specifically, talking about America. Hasn't been taken out, hasn't been, dethroned. Hasn't lost, a war. But you see, ultimately, who this is, ultimately leading towards, man. So the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Continue on. Job chapter 30, verse 8. Said they were children of fools. Yeah, children of base men. This devil is the basis of men. The lowest of the low. And the base is the bottom part, of something. Let's say you you have a water bottle. The base of it is the bottom of it. The lowest part, man. They were children of fools. Yeah, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Let's get back to the scripture up here. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. It says, lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Let's get next verse. Which is not what I wanted, but let's continue on. The book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 3 through 4 said, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. You also have these devils that are super prideful, that are not willing to, which, in the scriptures, the book of Isaiah goes to how they exalt themselves above the Most High. They'll ascend unto the heavens and be like the Most High. Roughly paraphrasing. But it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Whose habitation is high. When you go into, the place where Esau Edom dwelt, he dwelt in the clefts of the rocks. And what is architecture, look like? Give you some time to think. Do you see this anywhere specifically? Washington, all these different monuments. The White House. I mean, come on. What else? Just multiple other buildings. This is the architecture that this devil uses. He literally dwelt in the clefts of the rocks, man. Literal cave beast, man. Same architecture, and you see him using the eagle, which we'll get into, as his national animal. It says, the pride of their heart deceived the devil that dwells in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, which you also see him replicating the architecture that he had, and also ascending onto the heavens, creating these satellites, these super tall buildings. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. When you go to that picture in Petra, there's an eagle. I believe that's, right here. I mean, come on. In the top right there. Which I wish I had, a clearer image. But yeah, he dwelt in the clefts of the rocks, man. And once again, this is like a short summary, breakdown of who the Edomites are today, which is the Sogoi, man. But let's get these one last scripture. which I may make a a deep breakdown going into it. Which once again, multiple brothers in Great Millstone have made thousands of lessons going to who Esau Edom is, with multiple scriptures and history proving it, man. Which you can ultimately tell who the Edomites are, with all the things that the devils have done, the atrocities, all this wickedness the devil has done and performed, man. But Ecclesiastes chapter 1:9 says, "The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun." You're seeing the same old architecture, the same old, similar building style, man. It's literally Esau, this whole white man. Look at this. This is where Esau lived. And it was like a little, Colosseum that they had, following the ancient Roman Empire. They had a Colosseum, where you just go out there and brawl and fight. With a little stadium. Oh, let's just see. Colosseum. Forgot to spell Colosseum, but there we go. I see right here. So, I mean, come on. But, it's pretty much a lesson. Don't want to, drag us on too long, but Lord, edifying. I'll close out and give all praises, all honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Kakadash. God warns the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, teach us his truth, peace, and blessing to help with Israel, and Shalom. See you next one.